United there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided there is little we can do, for we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. If freedom is to survive and prosper, it will require the sacrifice, the effort and the thoughtful attention of every citizen. A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, and that is the basis of all human morality. Let us not emphasize all on which we differ but all we have in common. Let us consider not what we fear separately but what we share together. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. For one true measure of a nation is its success in fulfilling the promise of a better life for each of its members. Let this be the measure of our nation. The success of this government, and thus the success of our nation, depends in the last analysis upon the quality of our career services. War will exist until that distant day when the conscientious objector enjoys the same reputation and prestige that the warrior does today. In the Chinese language, the word crisis is composed of two characters, one representing danger and the other, opportunity. We can say with some assurance that, although children may be the victims of fate, they will not be the victims of our neglect. The federal budget can and should be made an instrument of prosperity and stability, not a deterrent to recovery. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda, it is a form of truth. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining, by filling 3 basic gaps in our anti-recession protection. In serving his vision of the truth, the artist best serves his nation. This country cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor. A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces but also by the men it honors, the men it remembers. We have become more and more not a nation of athletes but a nation of spectators. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Victory has 100 fathers and defeat is an orphan. Too often we hold fast to the clichés of our forebears. We subject all facts to a prefabricated set of interpretations. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Too often we hold fast to the clichés of our forebears. We subject all facts to a prefabricated set of interpretations. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. If we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. We are not afraid to entrust the American people with unpleasant facts, foreign ideas, alien philosophies, and competitive values. For a nation that is afraid to let its people. Liberty without learning is always in peril and learning without liberty is always in vain.